We're joined this segment by a has-been delegate, now Senator, Darren Thorne, good buddy of mine from Hampshire County. He can't wait for Hampshire County to join the Eastern Panhandle with growth. He's ready to sell his chicken farm and build a data center, right, Darren?
Oh, man, this is not a good way to start the morning.
Introduces a has-been.
Yeah, I know. I have been selling farms, putting in data centers.
Darren was a delegate with us, and he was a good, stable guy, and then they promoted him to senator, and now he barely talks to us.
Oh, man. I can see what this is going to be right now. This is going to be a beat on Darren Day.
Darren, I saw you were at the Berkeley County Youth Fair a couple of days ago. Your thoughts?
I was. It was very good. I have to admit, I hadn't been over there for, it's probably been 20 years. I'd went over when our kids were small. We come over to a rodeo one time. Mm-hmm. And it's very impressive. I was really envious of your all's barns.
Yeah, I know John Hardy's been worked on our goat barn and did some work on that. Are you going to be in town on Friday to bid on some of these youngsters' animals?
Yeah.
Especially Carly Hornby's animal.
Maybe. If it don't bring more than $50.
You can always send in a ghost bidder for you, Senator. I've had that happen.
And, Senator, will you be here for the Labor Day breakfast? Have you been to these before?
I have not, and I don't think I've been invited to that.
Well, all politicians are, by definition, invited, and it's really a wonderful opportunity to meet. It's a fun day. It's a fun breakfast, and all the politicians tend to show up, generally with an apron on, serving the food.
Get to be a waiter for the morning.
Yeah, if you have not planned to do it, I would strongly encourage. We've had, as I say, all local politicians. The governor, Governor Marcy used to be there on a regular basis. Manchin, Senator Capito were there frequently, but it's primarily for the local politicians, senators, delegates, and county commissioners and the like.
War Memorial Park, Labor Day starts at 7, I think, bright and early, and you're usually out of there, Senator, by
well, I can tell you this: the senator is not afraid of waking up early.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't like early mornings, Mike.
you're at the Capitol at 6 o'clock usually.
Actually, I'm there by 5.
By 5, yeah. Darren, let's get into it a little bit. I know you've been pretty vocal. I know Hampshire County commissioners, as well as Monongalia County commissioners, a number of delegates have come out against this transmission line that it's in theory at the moment. There is a plan. The Public Service Commission is looking at it. Where do you stand on that, and what are your thoughts?
So I don't like the idea. I don't like it because just as most people here in our county, especially the ones I'm hearing from here in Hampshire, is it might be a little easier to swallow if we had something that was going to get something from it. But from what we're understanding, the way it's proposed at the moment is that it's just going to go through West Virginia and not stop. There's going to be no off ramps, if you will. It's just going to go straight to Virginia, and Virginia will benefit. As a Hampshire Countyan, as you alluded to at the beginning, I don't really like a lot of change. But looking into this and hearing what's happening, as you probably know, Mike, is we're going to be a shortage of power in very near future. And whether we understand this or not, we need to start understanding it, I guess. But if Virginia runs out of power, PJM runs out of power, we all go black. We're all on the same. So we could all lose power. So it does affect us in a negative way. all the way around the data centers or whatever. So, no, I'm not happy about it, but I'm trying to understand it, to have to be able to make decisions.
Go ahead, sorry.
That's okay. One thing that I would like, and I get beat up here in the county, and I've had some forums, and it's, they come out hard against me, but what I'm trying to do is be an advocate for the state of West Virginia and Hampshire County. If these power lines are going to go through and we can't stop them, I've been told by the governor, I've been told by the Senate, everybody that I've talked to, I don't have the power to stop it. We don't have that power. The people might be able to stop it, but I don't believe we can. So in my opinion, I should be an advocate to try to get it to where we can benefit from it. And that's where I'm at now, but I get so much pushback. I don't know what to do. If it's going to be rammed down our throat, I would rather get something from it than not. But as a representative, I got to do what the people want, and the people don't want it.
Senator, a little bit of research on this. The sources of the electricity or the power will come from two underutilized coal plants, one near Wheeling, the other one east of Charleston. But there's been an energy, economic, and financial analysis that would suggest that it would cost the West Virginia electrical customers more than $440 million on an annual basis.
I thought it was coming from Pennsylvania and then across Monongalia County, Hampshire County, Tucker, and then a little bit of Jefferson.
Well, the title would entitle that, but the electrical sources come from these two coal power plants.
Yes. Yes. From what I'm understanding, it's starting in Pennsylvania, coming down, and you're right. These are going to be coal-fired plants. I have heard that unofficially that it's going to cost us that. Nobody. And again, the energy companies is not going to tell you that it's going to cost you more than that. So it's hard when it comes to these types of things to know what's real and what's not.
But the study was done by the institute, a formal institute that has published a report. So it is available, and the number is $440 million they estimate.
Right. But I can push back and argue back that we can make a study do anything we want if we're negative towards the study. So if we don't want the power lines to go through, we can make it look like we don't want it, just the same as the power company can say that it's going to benefit us.
If there were substations, Darren, and there were offsets so that we could install industrial parks, or if there were two power plants installed or created, would that change the game, or do you think the public would still be adamantly against this?
Yeah. So I've had that conversation with the folks that are adamantly against it here in the county. They don't care. They just don't want it, right? So I tried to explain. So we don't have no coal in Hampshire County. We don't have any a large amount of gas. I don't know that we could put in microgrids, right? I don't know. So my thought is if we could drop off a substation, like you say, and be able to drop a data center in the county. I try to look at this objectively. If these things are coming to West Virginia, why shouldn't Hampshire County have one? But anyway, as you well know, Mike, that we could do, up to about $30 million a year in tax revenue for the county, but the people just don't care. And it's kind of aggravating because we're a take county, and we're a take state. And we contribute nothing to so it's hard. It's hard for me to understand how we juggle this and where we could, like you said, we could drop a substation. It would make it better for industry to come to us. We need infrastructure in the state and in our county. And we're always... it's always met with resistance. So I'm in a bad place over here where all of us are. Delegate Cannon, Delegate Hillenbrand, we're trying to navigate this and do with the will of the people. That's what we're there for. So I just try to look at everything objectively and give all sides of it. But, and as you know, Mike, I'm not to, I don't sugarcoat things. I tell the truth. I tell what I know, and people don't like that.
Is this something that is being just talked about right now? Is it a plan for 6 months down the road, 10 years down the road? Obviously, the feds are leading it, or the PJM is leading it, and the utilities are asking for it. You did mention that, we can't really do anything about it, but what is your thoughts on what's the timeline behind this?
So I'm told by next era that this should be done by, I think, if my recollection's right, it should be done around 28.
Now, my numbers...
So it's coming fast.
My numbers are construction start in the fall of 2029 and completed by the fall winter 2031.
Okay, well, that's different than what they told me. Yeah. So it wasn't.
Are you guys looking at the same project?
That there's...
I have no idea. I don't know.
I don't know. Again, we don't know this for a fact. We're just going by what we're told.
Do you think, Senator, that all of the education that you've tried to give, that the delegates have tried to give, what I hear you saying, I think, is that you're frustrated and that people just don't want to hear it. They just don't want it. They're just not going to change their mind. And you think this is the vast majority of Hampshire Countyans, yes?
I do not think it's the vast majority.
Okay.
I think the vast majority is doesn't really care and doesn't even know it's coming. I had a conversation with a local fire department, and they didn't even know anything about it. And when I brought it up, because I was just trying to see they just didn't care. So I think the people that drive down the road every day to go to work, and that's, we have to drive to Winchester. So some of these guys are driving an hour, maybe even over into northern Virginia, into the city for a 2-hour drive. People want jobs here that's lived here their whole lives. And this is not negative towards anything or anybody, but the people that have retired and moved here are the ones that's the biggest voice that doesn't want it. So the people that's lived here their whole lives, they really want some kind of infrastructure and some kind of business here so they don't have to drive 2-3 hours or 4 hours a day, spend that much time away from home, extra.
But if there are no substations, if there are no drops, except for the construction, what jobs are being brought in?
That's his point, I believe. Yeah.
That's my point. Okay. So if we was to work with them and get a substation to drop, then we can bring industry into our county. And I'm always saying I believe in smart growth, just not uncontrolled growth. And we should be trying to bring jobs into the county. So if we drop the substation, that would help us have the infrastructure for some bigger outfits.
Bigger projects that need to use a lot of power, which would make it a benefit to West Virginia, whereas the plan right now, it's no benefit to West Virginia. Darren, we got about 9 minutes left. I want to switch gears just a little bit and talk about agriculture. I know you are obviously part of a commercial farming business. You provide all the organic chickens to the East Coast. Talk about where we're at in agriculture in West Virginia, where we're at with the drought. Is the drought over? How have you been working with the Department of Agriculture and Kent Leonard, and what are you working on in the future?
Yeah, so let's start with the drought. The droughts, we're in good shape with the drought. The drought has, we've gotten plenty of rain this summer. As a matter of fact, it's been challenging. Last summer was challenging because we didn't have the rain to grow our hay crops. This year, I'm still in my first cut, and I planned on being in there this morning and live in your studio, but I'm in the hay fields. I've already been out this morning mowing hay. So
Delegate Street was having the same complaint. He told me that he was still on his first cut because of all the rain and how green it was. He was supposed to be on his second cut by now. Is that?
Yeah, we should be in our second cut, and and the challenge is, a lot of it is the ground lays so wet. So we're getting stuck. We're burying tractors and balers, and it's just, we have a different challenge. But as far as the drought goes, we're clear of it. We have a lot of me and the department. We work close together constantly. So our future, we need to start trying to push the federal MAHA thing going on now. This is good stuff that we need to be starting to talk about and not use so much chemicals. We got to be, the big thing is right now mRNAs into our food supply, and this is concerning. We shouldn't be hiding this stuff in our food, and a lot of this stuff is, Brazil owns 80% of our beef in the United States. JBS owns, the largest beef producer in the world. So, we've just got to start getting more understanding that our food needs to be more grown here. We need to grow it here in the country. West Virginia's, we can be a part of that. We just have to get out of the old ways and our federal government's doing some things now, and that we have to, our trade, everything's lopsided for the farmer. So it's coming around. I'm very positive, the most positive I've been in the agricultural world in 30 years. So I'm very, very pleased the way that the country's going right now.
Bill?
Do you think
Secretary Rawlings is up?
Do you think, Senator, we talk about it here all the time, specifically Berkeley County, also Jefferson. What should there be incentives for farmers to keep their land in the farming industry, in the agriculture industry, whether it be farms or orchards or what have you, because you can't drive within a 2-mile radius of anywhere without seeing another housing development going up here. Are you experiencing that in Hampshire County? Should we do something to change that move?
Yes and no. We had a problem probably 15, 20 years ago. Our county has put ordinances in to slow this housing developments down, but I can see them starting to come back. After COVID, a lot more people are moving into our area, and I'm afraid that, we're going to have these problems too. I'm not big on the subsidizing, but we are getting to a critical point in our country that I might have to think about that again, right, and rethink those things. Because you're right. I like the thoughts of farmland protection. That doesn't guarantee that they're going to continue farming, but it does keep it from going into a subdivision, and maybe a young person could start farming.
Isn't it harder and harder in America these days to be profitable as a family farm? You look at these successful farms; they're usually massive corporations that are industrial farms.
Yeah. It's nearly impossible, but that's my point. We need to get away from the JBSs. We need to get away from those, and we should, I know that it's, we keep harping on buy local, and it's virtually impossible right at the moment, right? We don't I raise too much beef, I cannot sell it directly into the market, right? So we have to take it and sell it at this livestock auction, which in turn ends up at JBS, more than likely. So there's a lot of problems there. We don't have slaughterhouse, we don't have slaughter facilities in the whole country, not just West Virginia, in the whole country. We don't have enough to do this, no processing. It's hard for me to, and I'm just saying me, but farmers like myself, to go and sell to, let's say, Walmart, or, because JBS can sell it for a lot cheaper, and we worry more about what something costs than we do of what we're eating. And labeling is a big deal, but from what I'm understanding, USDA has changed that. Our labeling is now, it has to be, let me back up just a little bit to explain that. So what happens is if let's just say a side of beef comes out of Brazil, and it comes here, and then it's butchered and processed and packaged, and it can have the American flag on it. We don't have any idea of what was put into that animal at that point. We don't know where we know what country of origin it was, but as a consumer, we do not. We think it's American-grown beef when it actually came out of Brazil, wherever.
Are you saying we're getting meat from Brazil? Is that correct?
We're getting what?
We're getting beef from Brazil? I thought it was just the company owned the processing facilities, and we're still eating American meat.
We import.
A lot of lamb from New Zealand and Australia. So.
Yeah, but it's labeled New Zealand lamb. I mean, they're famous for it. I don't ever recall seeing Brazilian beef at Martin's or at Kroger's.
Right, because it's coming here, be packaging, and it's have American flag on it. So just heard Slay say something about Australia. Australia, we have never exported to Australia.
Yeah.
Donald Trump has signed a trade deal that we're going to start sending, I forget how many millions or billions of dollars worth of beef to Australia. And we've never done that. We've always imported. We import from all over the world, but yet we don't export.
Darren, thank you so much for your time today. I hate to cut you off, but it seems like I've cut everybody off this week, so you're not the first one. Again, thank you, Senator. Appreciate it. I will see you next week in Rulemaking Review Committee.